We're going to go ahead and take a look at number 25 from section 1.7, which deals with inequalities. 25 reads as x plus 3 all over 4 is going to be less than 2x minus 4 all over 3. So the goal with this problem, as always, is to solve for x, or we want to get x by itself. One of the first things that I'm noticing with this problem is that I have two rational numbers. So I have a fraction on one side of the inequality and a fraction on the other. One thing that I would suggest doing is trying to find the lowest common denominator. And the lowest common denominator between 4 and 3, what would you suggest? And odds are what you might be thinking or suggesting would be, well, if I multiply both sides by 12, then I would be able to clear that denominator out. And that is actually the ultimate goal here. So we can reduce this out on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side. So then we are left with the quantity x plus 3 times 3 is going to be less than 4 times the quantity 2x minus 4. And from here we can go ahead and solve this as we usually would. So I would distribute. And this is going to give you 3x plus 9 is less than 8x minus 16. And the goal, I would say, would be to get the x value on the left-hand side. It'll make it a little bit easier for you when you have to graph this on the number line, and then would actually help you then further when you do interval notation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 8x from both sides to clear that out. And I will subtract 9 from both sides to clear that out. And that's going to give me negative 5x is less than negative 25. And I know usually the reason why people avoid trying to work the problem so that x is on the left-hand side of the inequality is because they don't necessarily want to contend with negative numbers. But if you understand that whenever you divide by a negative number, the sign has to change, then you're covered. So I would suggest trying to get that variable on the left-hand side initially, and then just calling it a day. So with this particular problem then, our solutions are going to be any x values that are going to be greater than 5. So if we were to go ahead and graph this, we would say I would use an open circle over the 5 because I don't want to include the number 5 as part of my answer. So I'm just kind of saying I want to get close to it, but I don't actually want to use it. And then it looks like we want values that are greater than 5, so I'm going to shade to the right side of 5. And if we did interval notation, we would say this goes from 5 to positive infinity. And there's your solution.